Okay, and we're live. Hi, folks. So I'm going for a little 50-minute race with these guys here at Online Sim Racing. As you can see at the server there, Online Sim Racing, V8 Supercars. And at the last minute, I decided that I'd stream it. You know, why not? So here we are, and let's see. We're in practice at the moment. Not a hell of a lot of people here, but hoping to have, you know, it's going to be the first time in a while I've had a good long proper 50-minute race. It's a pretty decent amount of time. I'm not sure how the sound is going to come out, because I think it's just left where I last had it. I think I was using my VR headset microphone, so the microphone levels for this headset might be a bit different. I'm not sure. Might be loud, but that's racing. Oh, it looks like quali's coming up. Someone's just told us. Thomas has just told us. So the server password bears, I can't tell you what it is, but it bears some relation to recent events, and I thought I'd come and just have a race with these guys. It's been a funny weekend. We found out, of course, that just yesterday that the amazing Mr. Murray Walker has passed away at 97 years old, which is very sad. But I'm not. I don't think I'm not too sad. 97 years old. He's probably had enough of us lot, and you know, it's a long time. But I just wanted to say that the reason I'm not sad about it is because I feel privileged to have grown up listening to that man, you know, be the voice of motorsport. For me, his enthusiasm knew no bounds. He could, you know, if it was kids racing marbles, he would make that sound so exciting. I mean, if you were listening to him, and if you were listening to him on the radio and you couldn't see what was going on, he would transmit the atmosphere, the high octane excitement, straight through your radio speaker to you. He was just fantastic. So I'm happy to have grown up with him being the voice, because for me he will always be the voice of motorsport. What a dude. So we've gone to quali. Race in peace, Murray Walker. Right, I've got to get serious now, I guess. What have I done with my YouTube bit? I need to just pin that. I do apologise if I don't speak to anyone very much during this, because, you know, I'll be racing, and that's really serious. Yeah, it's racing malarkey. It's very, very serious. Stick 7 laps of fuel in there. So I was online last night, and someone told me this was going on, and of course I'm on the Online Sim Racing Discord, but they reminded me, so I spent some time at I started off at a server with these V8s at Adelaide, and then we came to Bathurst, which is when they told me that this was going on today. And these cars are everything in Automobilista. Update after update just gets better. These cars, I've always loved the V8s ever since, you know, the R Factor 1 mod by OSR Sim Racing, and or Team OSR, and the V8 mod for GTR2. And these, you know, these are fantastic, and they have the same vein, you know, they feel the same. You can feel that locked diff, the spool on the back end, you know. You can do a lot of tweaking with these cars, but there's nothing you can do about that lock diff. It's what makes these things kind of special. And but I did find, when I was at Adelaide, you know, you can really struggle to get purchase out of those sharp corners. It's really easy to spin the car with a little bit too much throttle on acceleration. But one little tweak that really helps that is just lower the camber. These cars run with a ridiculously high amount of camber, so I lowered the camber down to about, I think, 2 degrees on the rears. And you get so much more purchase for accelerating out of corners then, and because of course there's more of the wheel in contact with the ground. And you know, I find a very similar thing with the Porsche Cup in R Factor 2. That runs ridiculous amounts of camber. I have a similar problem, and if I lower the cambers, it, you know, makes things for me a lot easier, and also really changes the feel of the car, especially when you lower the camber, or, you know, lower or higher the camber on the front tyres, because of course that's linked to your steering rack. And I've come to a conclusion about camber. I am not a fast enough driver to be able to use a lot of camber, because camber is for when you're really pushing it hard through corners. You know, it leans the tyre over to, you know, so the top's towards the centre of the car. So when you're really cornering hard and the car's leaning out, it flattens. But I'm never cornering that hard, because I don't think I'm ever using the full potential of the car. So I've decided I'm better off just using a bit of caster, extra caster if I can, for the front tyres at least, as I'm just too slow to run with a lot of camber. But it, you know, the advantage of that is I get much better control under braking and accelerating. So, you know, if you're slow like me, there's a tip for you, you know, less camber. I'm not looking at the screen, I looked at the camera, be careful as we come down at the Conrod straight. But yeah, also with these cars, you can't do anything about that rear differential, you know, because of course that will make for quite an understeery feeling until you overpower it. And with an engine like this, these huge V8s, you can easily overpower it, so that is a risk factor. But another thing to make these cars more handleable is I'd never realised the default suspension on these is the springs are stiffer, not the dampers, but the springs are stiffer at the back than they are at the front. So I just lowered those so they're a little bit less stiff in the back, and that's really helped out the back end. And you would think that that would make for a much more understeery car. Well, that can be completely offset by another thing that I've done, which is really lower the anti-roll bar on the front end, so it's not as stiff, and then really stiffen it up on the back end. And that, with these cars, it makes it much more, you know, it makes it lean into corners on the front a lot better, and makes it much more pointable. But you don't lose the back end because of those changes to the suspension, and more importantly the camber. So you can kind of have your cake and eat it too, which is nice. And I just touched the wall there. Just a scratch. There is damage on this server. This is qualifying, so. And I've touched the wall. What I should do now is, seeing as I decided to record at the last minute, and I've not really got much to say, but hello! Hang on, I did just look up, and there's a friend of mine's just come onto the chat. I'll just get onto the Conrod straight here. There we go, and relax now, because it's just a straight. Hello from Germany. Hello, VR Motorsport. Me and VR Motorsport have been talking a lot about a great mod for R Factor 2, which I've just purchased. It's a paid mod from Tommy78, and it is the 1991 DTM Dutch Touring Masters mod, and it is, I think I paid about £13 for it. It's on sale at the moment. He's got it on sale. It's supposed to be about €15, so about 13 quid for me. And it is fantastic. I could not recommend it enough. If you like that kind of series touring cars, you know, I've always been a tin top kind of a guy, and I absolutely love it because you got 5 cars in there. They're all brilliant. They all feel different. The quality is really good, but mainly it's got the Opel Omega, which, as it's known in Germany, over here we know it as the Vauxhall Carlton. And I was a big fan of the Vauxhall Lotus Carlton, the 177 mile an hour road car family saloon rocket ship, because Lotus got a hold of it. And I've found out that the DTM version, which revs to something ridiculous like 9,500 revs, is even faster. If you put the high gearing on, because it's got 3 different gear types or gear sets, if you put it on the high gearing and take it to Brasilia, the long loop section in R Factor 2, you can get it to 180 and more. It's brilliant. And I've also got it in AMS2, because of course Reza brought out the Chevrolet Omega stock car version of it, and I love that as well. So Reza made my day, and then Tommy made my day, and I love the car in both. In fact, with a couple of setup tweaks, you can get it feeling pretty similar. But there's one big difference with those cars again, and it's down to the diff. Like with this, in the stock car version AMS1, it's running an open diff, which is the opposite to this on a spool. So it's an open diff, so it's kind of, you know, you can get it sideways, but then it might suffer from that one wheel spin kind of thing. Whereas Tommy's version, true to as it would have been in real life, is running a limited slip differential. And if you want, you can lock that thing right up, and it becomes a big drift monster. Just like the Vauxhall Lotus road car. And just a little hint here to game developers like Studio 397, and also Reza Studios, because I'm in Automobilista 2 here. Please, for the love of God, and if you can't, a modder, please, for the love of God, someone make the Vauxhall Lotus Carlton, the road-going rocket ship. I would very happily pay money for that. Absolutely would love that. Anyway, yeah, just a small hint there, you know, nothing too obvious. More like a fervent prayer! Yes, I'd like a Vauxhall Lotus Carlton, please. Not really concentrating on my qualifying here. I'm just sort of going round. I wonder how I'm doing. These setup changes with the, especially with the anti-roll bar now that the back end's a bit more controllable, has made this car much more pointable over those last 2 fast corners coming up the hill there. Better on the downhill section as well. I'll have a look at my times in a moment. How are we doing? I've got a 207. I'm in 4th place. That's not too bad. We do better than a 207, I wonder. And stay off of that curb. There's that spill diff taking over there. Right, 3 minutes to go. Let's make this lap a good one. Because that was terrible, 210. Very late on the gear change. And I've munched far too much curb there, or slowed me down. Like I said, this wasn't planned. You know, I just decided to do this stream at the very last minute. Just scraped a bit of paint on that wall there. Back end still not totally under control, but you know, there's nothing you can't unlock that diff at all. That's staying. Learned at the top of the mountain there, do not brake over that crest. It's very dangerous. It's wait till you're coming down. A bit counterintuitive braking on the corners, but it's much better than braking over the crest. So if we can hit top speed of 290 kilometers per hour down the Conrod Straight here. Sorry, VR Motorsport, when I said hello, I should have said Guten Tag. And I think we hit it. Yeah, and in concentrating on hitting that, I've completely forgotten about braking, haven't I? Right, I think I've got one more chance for a decent lap, and then we'll be racing. Try and stay off the curbs. These cars can handle the curbs, but it does make them bounce a bit. And I completely ended up on the curb. Have a look on the Automobilista 2 Reza Facebook page for online sim racing. They're a great bunch. Races every weekend. Oh, I'm gonna... So close to that wall. A little bit of a lift for the crest. Back on and turn in hard. Don't brake on the crest. Just after. And down the dipper we go. As I like to call it, Pinball Alley. Qualifying is over. My lap times here are telling me that my potential is a 154.423. That's never going to happen. The world record, which has been set by Nemesis 69 on this track, is a 2-1 something, I think. Right, don't screw this up. Don't screw it up. That was so close. And yeah, that's terrible. So, 4th place it is. I've also found with this car, because of that lock differential at the back, downshifting early is not a good idea. Going into a corner, braking, leave the gears where they are if you're in a high gear, and then once you've got past the apex, then bang down through the gears. Get the low gears for the exit. Right, here we go. 50 minutes. And I need to get some fuel in here. So let's see, 17 laps of fuel. Going to plan on 1 pit stop. Going to change my tyres to hard. This is going to be... I'm not going to be used to this now on hards. I've been doing it all on softs, but I don't reckon softs are going to last all that long with this car. So we go out on hard. The pit strategy, and I hope the game doesn't crash. It has a problem of crashing when if you adjust pit strategies just before the race. That looks okay, so I won't change anything. Don't crash. Okay. I did have 17 laps of fuel to go in there. We should be okay for the race, because I reckon it's going to be about... we are go. Hang on. No, I've lost control. I've been disconnected. Oh, no. Oh, what a nightmare. This is the... No, I haven't been disconnected. It's just telling me I have. Oh, okay. No, I have been disconnected. This is the bug that I was talking about. I shouldn't have changed that pit strategy. And yeah, it's completely crashed. This is a problem quite a lot of us are still having. I know my mate Pete's been suffering with this. That's a 50-minute race that I've been looking forward to all day that I'm now not a part of. Just check the it's not the internet connection, because we're still streaming. So yeah, we're still streaming. Hello, Raven. Hello, Azaris. Yeah, it does slop around too much, the suspension, if you're not careful with it. Well, that's... Oh, hang on. Session time. What's going on here with this? Are we still in the game? I don't know. Okay, no, we're not. We're out. We're out of that. This is just... This is still quite a serious bug going on with this game. And, I suppose we could go and spectate for a while. Let's have a look. Oh, no, hang on. Has their server gone down? Is it in fact not a game bug? Because the server... Let's just refresh this. Server's disappeared. It looks like the server has gone down. Alright, I'm just going to quickly Alt-Tab out of here. Find out what's going on. I'll go to their Discord. And they have just confirmed the server has gone down. Server reboot. So we may still be on for a race. We may still be on for a race. Drama here at Online Sim Racing in Automobilista 2. Ah, someone's computer's crashed at the other end, says Thomas. I'm just telling them that my friend Pete, if you're watching, hello, has been having big problems with this. But this is, for him, it's been offline or online. Gonna have to get on those bug report forums at Reza Studios or Reza forums. So it looks like they're rebooting the server. I'm going to have to give them some time. Let's do a refresh. See if we can see the server in the online list. Okay. Doesn't look like it's up there yet. So, I don't know. So yeah, whilst we're waiting for that to happen, what's been happening with our world? So we, oh, hang on, they're talking to me. Oh, hello. I've left my phone on. My phone might go off in the background whilst I'm doing this. Really professional today, aren't I? They're asking me if I'm going to rejoin the server. I've said I can't see it at the moment. People are furiously typing. We're all on it. They say they're all on it. So let's refresh. Well, I'm glad my game didn't crash. That's one good thing. Well, yeah, Azaris, it seems that the Reza do have some issues to sort out there. I think maybe one of the reasons that they've been so quiet, the reason they've been really quiet on the forums is when they go really quiet, it's usually because they're working damned hard on sorting things out. And, you know, I hope they are sorting things out. No, the server is not here at all. I mean, we've got an update coming, haven't we? So, online sim racing, there we go. V8 Supercars, we are joining. Right, hang on a second. I'll just let's go studio mode here. This is a private server, so I'm sorry whilst I type this in, I can't be giving that away. We're in, so I can bring back our screen. There we go. Hello again. I've just gone all funny with my voice box. I don't know why. I'm blaming it on the lockdown. The lockdown's sending me a bit mad, as it is most people. I think. Right, joining back in. Does that mean that I get another chance at quali? But yeah, Murray Walker. End of an era, definitely. There just isn't. You know, there are some great commentators in motorsports and in sim racing. I was listening to Paul Jeffries commentating on Race Department the other night. It's brilliant, but just for me, you know, a bit like Jimi Hendrix for guitarists, you know, there's only ever going to be one Murray Walker. He was absolutely great. Just the enthusiasm that he would bring to a race was or bring to that sport, you know. He could get your 100-year-old grandmother who'd never driven a car in her life and didn't want to know about motorsports riled up about it, you know. He's just brilliant. What a dude. Right. Advanced setups. Go over our soft slicks. Again. For some qualifying. Go to our pit strategy before we get a race. So I don't want to risk playing with that again. So, so that wants to be 17 laps of fuel just to be on the safe side. Damage is all, yeah, okay. Oh, no, I didn't save it, did I? Save it, please. There we go. Right. Right, okay, I'm going to shut the hell up now. Shut the fuck up and just qualify. Actually, I'm going to put my shifter in a sequential because... Oh, I've got a car in front of me. And I've stalled it. It's because I was trying to swap from paddles to normal shifter in between driving. I like to use the appropriate shifter, you see, for the car. I got told off for crossing the pit line in a naughty way. I'm going to turn off the HUD, actually. And just concentrate. Nothing but the road. Try and remember I'm on cold tyres for the first lap. And think about Murray Walker as we go up the mountain. It's absolutely amazing here at Bathurst. And he's just on the curb. Look at that. That huge V8 wants to eat those curves for breakfast. And, no, I always pinch my nose if I'm going to do a Murray Walker impression. It's the easiest way to do it. We've gone straight to race. But we didn't get time to qualify. And I'm in first. I shouldn't be in first. I'm going to tell them that. What? I'm in first? There's no way I should be there. I'm out of my depths. I'm scared. Well, sorry, boys. Okay, I can't edit myself. What? I have... No, what are you doing? What is this nonsense? There's no car volume. Are you sure? No one else has mentioned that. I was sort of sitting still there, so that might have been the reason. But I haven't had time to put the correct amount of fuel in the car. I've started off way out in front. I don't know what's going on here. This is all gone a bit weird. Can you hear the volume now? 7 below? Why did I change up to 5th there? What was the point in me doing that? I think I'm still on softs as well. Yeah, I'm definitely still on softs. This is all wrong. I'm going to run out of fuel way too early. I'm going to wear my tyres down way too early because I didn't get... And I've got... Whoa! I've got a car ghosting? I've got it ghosting in the race. What the hell is going on here? Still no car sound. Right, I think I know what that is. It's an OBS setting. Like, sorry about this, 7 Below. I kind of set this up very hastily. It was a last minute thing. And obviously, my OBS has retained the settings from the last video I did. And I think the last bit of footage, I took it without sound. So that sucks, and it's totally put me off thinking about my drive. Do you know what? Got no sound. I do feel like giving up. You know, just spun it. They've got ghosted cars all over the place. Everything's a bit ridiculous. I've just knackered my steering with that bump on the wall. I was so looking forward to this. She's crabbing a little bit. She's wandering across the road a bit, so I've definitely got some steering issues going on. I'll bring the HUD up. See if there's any mad information that's on the HUD that's... No, it's much more correct than I think it's saying what it should say, which is that I'm in last place where I belong. What can you do? I'm going to have to pit. Schedule a pit stop right now. I've lost all my drive, and I don't mean my drive to the back wheels. I mean, I've just sort of lost the will to live here now. Maybe whilst I'm in the pits, whilst this is getting fixed, I can change the settings. I don't know if I can change my OBS settings midstream. Never tried that. Well, first time for everything. Just imagine if Murray Walker was commenting on this race. It's a total shambles. No one knows what's going on. Everything's completely balked. I should think Mr. Eccleston will have something to say about this after the race. Gotta get me the pit speed limiter on. Where's me pit? I noticed there's no McLarens there. Bernie, are you upset about that? Well, not really. I don't remember buying McLaren. Oh, back to the race. Right. You boys in the pit, do your thing. Love these animated pit crews. You do your thing. I'm going to jump out of here and see if I can change my OBS settings. Yeah, I've got no desktop audio. So, desktop audio. Default. Right, okay, we should have sound now. Should have sound. Not a lot of it, because obviously I'm in the car. See what tyres they're going to put on. Got soft slicks. They're going to change the tyres. I don't need the tyres changed right now, obviously. Do apologise about this, folks. This is, you know, the most professional stream you've ever seen in your lives, isn't it? Murray Walker would be turning in his grave if he was buried yet. And what's going on? We're not moving. I've turned. No, I've got. Right, I seem to have lost all control of everything here. But they're still doing the repair. Ignition is off. Come on! Oh, come on. Come on. Right, okay. We're back on with sound. Thank you, 7 Below. It's working. We're in last position. This is the maddest, most unprofessional stream that has ever been made in the history of YouTube sim racing. And we're going to see if we can finish this ridiculous 50-minute race, which is just, you know, I don't know why they just jumped straight into the race without letting anyone qualify. We didn't have time to make sure our setups were done properly, just straight in, and all the cars were in the wrong position on the grids. I just hit the wall. I'm talking too much. But let's see if I can bloody well finish the race. Maybe I'll even make up another position. You know, I have to keep an eye on my fuel and bits and pieces. 96 litres of fuel in there. I'm going to have to really work it now, aren't I? To get anything out of this race. Hang on. What's that I'm looking at? All the cars have turned red. They all turn red. I've not seen that before. On the leaderboard there. Next to all the cars, the names, it's gone red. I don't know what that is. I'm trying to read that and I'm crashing all over the place because I'm reading that and not racing. Turn it off and just hope that they are still in the race somewhere on the track. Just concentrate on the driving, for God's sakes. Someone in the pits there. So okay, I've actually moved up in all of this madness. I've already moved up a place. There is hope for us yet. Hello, Super London man. Yeah, man, it's not a bad ride. It's just that the race I'm in is completely crazy. It's all gone a bit peaked on. Just to fill you in, we did our qualifying. It's 50 laps of Bathurst, and with online sim racing, we did our qualifying and got qualified in fourth place. And then went to start the race, and everything just kind of froze. We got disconnected. I thought the game had crashed, and it turned out that online sim racing server had gone down or been rebooted. We started again. Went back into qualifying and I'm thinking, okay, I've got another chance of qualifying. Went out to do a lap and then all of a sudden it went straight off to race. We were all plonked down on the grid. I had no time to change onto the proper tyres, sort of have a pit strategy. And then we were all sort of like, my car for some reason was way up ahead of all of the other cars on the grid. And then of course, because everything was so confusing, I hit a wall. You know, not because of my bad driving, I'm blaming it on the fact that I was confused and my attention was taken. Because, you know, definitely not my driving at all. I'm the best driver in the world, don't you know, and so modest. So yeah, it all went crazy, and now, you know, it's sort of ended up in last position. However, we've just gained a position because someone's ended up in the pits, but I'm now looking up there at the position counter and I'm 8th out of 8 now, so not 8th out of 9, so I think we've got one retirement already. Can't say I'm surprised with how things have just gone. Thanks Super London. How is it in London, man? Oh, man. Super London, man. Are you actually in London? Because I've seen some stuff going on, you know, the shit that they're not showing us on the news. But you get it on YouTube and you can see it live, what's been going on at Westminster, what happened last night, you know, at the Common. Wow, some crazy stuff going on up your way, man. I should imagine you're not seeing so many supercars around. People aren't travelling a lot, or at least, you know, if there are supercars that will be parked up for ages in this lockdown. Lockdown is making me frown. Want to get out of town and go out, but I'm locked down. Oh yeah, man, it's getting me down. Down the dipper. When I get onto the Conrod Straight, I will have a look at the leaderboard and see how far behind everyone we are. Slightly sideways, opposite lock. How are we doing? Right, so yeah, Di Murillo is in the pits and stayed there. We are, I think, 29. Hang on. We're a long way behind. I can't see anyone in the distance. We're a long way behind. My lap times are just atrocious. I've gone from doing 2 minute 7s I was doing earlier to 2:15s, 19s. Christ almighty. And now crossing the line at 2:15.885. Oh my god! Welcome to the most professional stream you've ever seen. This was all meant to happen. It was a big comedy stream. There's still quite a few supercars on. Oh wow, okay, cool. A new video. I'll get an update when that comes out, I guess. I'm really chuffed, Super London, actually, because one of my favourite all-time cars. I don't know if you've ever run into one of these. But when I was growing up, my family had Vauxhalls, so I was a Vauxhall fan. We had Astras, and a wealthy fella who, Mr. Sandwell, I think his name was, who lived in the village where our school was. He had a Vauxhall Lotus Carlton, and I just thought this thing was amazing. You know, a huge, great big long wheelbase, executive saloon car that you can carry your family, all your kids, your shopping, your suitcases for a holiday, your golf clubs, absolutely everything, and huge car. You know, when General Motors owned Vauxhall, they also owned Lotus, so they gave the Carlton or the Amiga as it's called in some countries, to Lotus, and Lotus went, okay, we're going to bore out the engine, make that, you know, 3.6 litres, we're going to give it 2 turbos, we're going to play with the suspension. They made that huge family car. They stuck a wicked body kit on it, looked like something out of Knight Rider but beefed up. They made that thing do 177 miles per hour, you know. Do you remember that car? The police hated it because it was a big family saloon with supercar power, so you could fit all of your thugs in it and all of your robbing equipment or whatever you needed. And there were a bunch of thieves that nicked one and went on a whole ram raiding spree. And the poor old police, you know, in their pathetic little MG Metros, just, yeah, they had no chance. They never found that car. They never found it. They never caught the robbers either. You never heard of it? Oh, mate. Yes, Google the Vauxhall Lotus Carlton. I'm sure you know what a Vauxhall Carlton is. They look a bit podgy. You see the Vauxhall Lotus Carlton, that body kit on it and the big spoiler on the back. It looks like it means business, and it does. And I've lost my back end. Oh, and I'm about to be overtaken. And it's a blue flag, so that's probably whoever's in first position. I'm going to try and get out this guy's way and be courteous. No, he's choosing to stay behind. I just left the door right open there. I don't quite understand. Are you going past? Come on. You go past. It's safe. There you go. That's Jan, who was in 7th position. And I'm in 8th. So I didn't need to let him. Oh no, I'm a lap down, so yeah, that's fair enough. Well, I can catch him up. I'm not a back marker. Exactly. I thought that was 1st position coming around to lap me. The 7th position coming around to lap me. That's even worse, isn't it? Tarmac terrorist, I terrorise everyone with my slowness. I am the slowest driver in the world. Yeah man, Vauxhall Loadcell, it did more to 60 in something like 5 seconds. The current Vauxhall VXR, sorry I wasn't thinking, which is, you know, equivalent to that these days. It's only half a second faster than it really, you know, around a racetrack. Still an amazing car. Yeah, I would love it if now that we have the Omega version of that car in AMS2 in this sim, Automobilista 2 by Reason Studios, officially, and in our Factory 2 by Studio 397 we have the unofficial Tommy 78 Opel version, the DTM version of that car, as a mod in the game now. As I said earlier, I would love it if, you know, one of these developers would bring out the road-going Vauxhall Lotus Carlton for their sim, or if someone like Tommy could make that, it would be fantastic. It is a drift machine, if you want it to be. Of course, it had a limit slip differential added to it as well. Really well in the last online race I was in. I won it, and yeah, this one, the motion at the start is not going very well at all. So 30 minutes, so we're 20 minutes in to the 50 minutes. That's gone past pretty quickly. Doing okay for fuel, tyres are alright, how our brakes are doing, brakes are fine. I have closed up the brake ducts a bit on the back end of this car because they don't get too hot. A lot of the brake bars are set forward, so I decided to close those up a bit to get them to operate temperature easier, and also of course with the vents closed that gives me a little bit more slippery aerodynamics. Front ones, I've closed the ducts up a little bit there by only by 10%. Back ducts are much more closed than that. Don't talk to the ducts, they're quackers. Boom. Getting on the hard slicks now. It's a lot. You can really tell the difference between those soft slicks and the hards. So much less grip. Oh, we're catching Jan. these hard slicks on the corners. But because of the campers being a little bit less, we get more purchase and acceleration getting out of the corners, so we can get some slipstream off the arm here. Come down the con rod straight. Braking gently, gently, gently. Big difference between those soft slicks and these hard slicks. Oh. Yeah, it's moving over. Okay, thank you, mate. Let us through there. I think I just saw someone else going into the pits. There's only 8 of us in this race. Feathering that throttle a bit, a little bit more delicate with it. Sideways to get to that. Okay, let's see now. So, and the Holocaust. Nuclear Holocaust is doing rather well up there. First position. Followed by Matt Kane, 77. He was killing it in the first qualifying we did, where he actually did get qualifying times. Or had time to get time. So then we've got Team Monday, the Griff, Bender, Vic. Oh. Yeah, and down of course is retired in the pits. But that slight bit of lift as you go over that crest is brilliant. Going wide, going wide. It was great. One thing I learned last night racing around here. I was, you know, you get a tiny little bit of lift as you go over that crest. You just feel the car lift. But then I noticed when I got behind people, and you're doing a fair few 100 odd mile an hour as you go over that crest. I was behind another car right up to the bumper in its slipstream, so I had no sort of downforce via the front air, and you get a lot more lift. And in another race later on, I had someone punted me into a wall, which ended up with my front end. It was a slight punt from the rear, but then my front end of my car went straight into a wall and damaged my front bumper. It was just kind of hanging off. It wasn't completely detached, it was loose, and I wasn't behind any cars. I went over that crash and we got proper lift again. I was just thinking, you know, that's a really good effect. Of course, you're losing quite a bit of your downforce. Just the effects of damaging your car in this are really quite good. And you know, that what's happening with the dirty air from other cars is a real thing in this sim. Of course it is in things like R Factor 2 as well. It's a bit too over-pronounced for a while with the GT3s in R Factor, but that's now been sorted out, but R Factor does it well. Nearly 30 minutes into the 50 now, so we're well over the halfway point. Is the sky getting a bit grey? I'm not sure. Have got changeable, I think they've got, the server's got weather set to random on there. Matt Kane 77 is now in first place. I think they've changed a bit. The Holocaust has moved down to third. There's a big change there. Wonder what happened there. So a bit of shuffling around at the front of the pack going on. Some chat coming up there. I couldn't read it. It was too late. Probably tell I'm just kind of taking it easy now and trying to stay safe. Just touched the wall there. And Jan's touched the wall behind me as well. Over the crest and then apply the brakes on the way down. Oh, a bit too much power. Taking the back end out, down the S is not good. Much better exiting Jan there out of the front of the screen, not sure why. best with these hard tyres on. Not good. Not good. Really sideways there. On the right hand look. yes, we did. We had pork sausages. We had pork sausages for dinner. That is where that's come from. Chicken that before. It's really nice with stuff there. Miles behind everyone. The only person behind me is no longer in the race. They're in the pits. But I'm finishing this goddamn race. Because I'm just a complete stalwart. Let this be a lesson in stamina. I might do a live stream just with 32 AI cars next time, because I've had a race with the AI around here and they're brilliant, and I've been racing 32 of them, and you know, that might be an idea. And have my sound sorted on the OBS before I do so as well. Oh, hello! Got cars behind me, I've been lapped, oh, I'm being lapped. What is it with the ghosted cars? I hate ghosted cars in a race. So that is the car, of course, oh, he's got back into first position. Matt Kane, 77 is down into fifth place. What happened there? I do not like this. I do not like. Let this guy past. Come past me. I do not like this ghosted car thing, man. I never have that switch on if I'm either, you know, just racing or running a server. I never have that switch on. Don't like that. That's just cars on the track. It's on the track. Move out of the way for it. I don't like this. Is it there? Is it not there? Thing. had problems with the server going down. My OBS not being set up correctly. Also not running the server, but it did go down for, I forget who was running it for online sim racing. I am driving like a man who's had no sleep, but then to be fair, I haven't this weekend. Maybe running a live stream at the last minute wasn't a brilliant idea, I don't know. Plus I'm trying to keep my chin up about, you know, Murray Walker and say that I'm not sad and pleased to have been sort of grown up to his voice, but I suppose it is kind of sad, you know, very downbeat. Chin up, Tarmac. Every now and then things don't quite go to plan. Tomorrow they'll be great again. We're coming up to the last lap now, so after this lap and then go and have a coffee and a fag, I think. That was the thing, I suppose. Was it even a thing? I don't know. I just decided to do a donut because I thought that would be fun. celebrations, yay, everyone's finished. I didn't come last. Well, I'm not going to bother saving that replay, I don't think. Back to the lobby we go. Two viewers are still watching this. Who on earth are you who are still watching this? That was appallingly shambolic. Well, I'm going to end the stream there. Thanks for watching. If you have watched, race in peace, Mr. Murray. And I think my brother's playing a bit of piano downstairs. Might go listen to that. Maybe order a pizza. I don't know. Anyway, folks, thanks very much, and all the best.